taken two of India's biggest passions, weddings and cricket and sporting events, and really set yourself up for a huge challenge. Nupur, tell me, from the time that a fan books a ticket to the time that they leave the stadium, what are the steps that cause waste, and what do you do at every step of that journey?
Sporting events, I think, was a big challenge for us because, yes, the emotion quotient was the same, but the numbers were stalling. Like, because, I mean, imagine doing a wedding of, say, 500 to max 3,000. I think our biggest wedding was of 3,000 to 35,000 people attending a cricket match. So we worked to make Mumbai and Pune stadium sustainable, and both had the capacity of almost 35 to 40 people, 40,000 people. So our biggest challenge was how do we make that crowd not ask for plastic bottle. So I will come to the breakup of what happens from the ticket till you reach the stage. But the biggest challenge was the plastic bottle that we had to deal with. So the good thing was that we could play by the rule that you're not allowed plastic bottle in the sitting area because they used to burn it and throw it at the players. So after that, you're not allowed plastic bottles. So that worked in our favor. So we had to, of course, arrange dispensers and give classes for people to drink water. But there are so many things in a sporting event. Again, just to begin with some statistics, from the 10 matches, so Mumbai and Pune, they had 5 matches each for a recently concluded World Cup match that happened in India. And from the 10 matches, we fed 17,000 people just from the extra food.
Really?
17,000 people. And even I could not believe my numbers. But trust me, the day we distributed the food, we slept so well.
So satisfying.
Yeah, it was. Because it was not part of our whole description what we had to do. But we saw somebody come and give us 500 pizza boxes and said, "Ye fek do."
Oh my God.
And we were like, "Kyun? Kharab ho gaya kya?" So they were like, "Nahi, kharab nahi hua, but aaj ka demand itna hi hai." Because again, to get into the nuances of it, many times a certain section is blocked by corporates. So they will say that 10,000 seats are blocked by us or 5,000 seats are blocked by us. They give the tickets to their employees. For the people, the stall owners, it's a sold out match, right? It will show sold out. So you know that 35,000 people will come. But maybe for that match, 5,000 seat that's blocked, so many people from the employees might not turn up. So then it leads to food wastage because they, see again, the stall owners will cater to a 35,000 crowd. They will not think that, because customer वापस नहीं जाना चाहिए, right? Again, it's a very Indian thing of customer वापस नहीं जाना चाहिए.
And it's all business.
It's all business.
It's commercial,
yeah,
right?
It's commercial. So 500 pizzas when it first came to us, we were like, इसको नहीं फेंक सकते. But again, how much can you eat? We were like, खा लो. So we'll eat. But then 500, and then next day we got some 300 burgers. Isko fek do. And we are like, okay, this is not a one-day thing. This is going to keep happening.
You have to find a solution.
And then there were food plates that used to come for security and the entire staff. Again, I don't know why the calculations were always wrong. Or in the morning, the food would come and, the staff would be busy or something or the other and would not eat. Afternoon tak wo plate wahi rakha rehta hai. So again, the whole idea was that another challenge we face with food distribution is that not many hotels allow you to take it. Because again, one case of food poisoning and it can be traced back to them. So there is a lot of permissions that you need to take the food out. So for this cricket match, the hotel partner, the hospitality partner refused it outright, that we will not let the food leave the stadium. So what we did at that moment was first, of course, ask the MCA, like the chairman of the stadium, to come in and step in and help us with an email. But at the same time, we got a food tester. Come right away just so that he could test the food, taste the food, and tell that it's okay, give his stamp, and then we could distribute it. So that was the idea that my husband came up with. What if we get it approved that it's safe to distribute? Will it be allowed? So he said, yeah, then we can let it go.
What a hack.
What a hack. So that happened, but yeah, so from the tickets. So I think the idea of a sustainable sporting event needs to be driven from the very, very beginning, unlike a wedding. Because over here, you want the support of the crowd to help you with your initiatives. It should be, in a way, somewhere, a little bit of an awareness program. Again, the difference between weddings and sporting events. So in the tickets, we wanted this message to be put out that this is going to be a sustainable event. Please carry your own bottles. Try and carpool. to the event. And in fact, we suggested a lot of ideas in terms of, how you can carpool and get the parking space. Like, this parking, because parking is a challenge, right? So you get 10% discount on your parking or 20%
So you
discount.
incentivized
You
people.
incentivize. Yeah, we did that. So that happened. And then there was a lot of merchandise, right? So you have to keep the bins and the dustbins and everything. So we were like, if you are opening the t-shirt, we request you to open it in this zone.
Okay.
If you're kind of changing it so that you can put the plastic in which the merchandise is coming, because not everything you can control. Like, we would ideally like it if it comes in a carton without plastic, but that was not in our hand. So if it was, we were like, please use it in this zone. Outside of this, we would, it's just a request. And people did comply. Again, the point is that nobody wants to generate waste. It's just about making it easier for them to discard it.
Do people get impatient?
I don't know. I don't think so. I mean, like, for us, we had this very nice messages which says true fans don't waste food. And I mean, again, a lot of those messages. And what we were doing is we were using the emotions that are there in a cricket ground work for us in our favor and direct those emotions to even channelizing the waste in the right bins. And again, this was a idea. We all sat down and we are like, what do we have?
Right.
And one of the person just said crying cricketers, or really excited fans. And I could only hear energy, at that time. And how we could use these energy is what we thought we'll do best. Then, of course, the whole idea of using solar power to kind of.
I was going to come to that. Stadiums are energy guzzlers. What do you do with that?
So there are a lot of ideas. I mean, one thing that we are working on right now is an idea borrowed from Coldplay concerts. So we didn't get our tickets, but we definitely look at working on this idea, which is the kinetic strips. Again, if you're thinking of energy, the kinetic energy can be used to actually power maybe not the entire stadium, but 2 LED screens. Even that is a win, right? Like, something. People would know, pass on that message. Another thing that's come up is battery-powered generators, which does not use fuel, so no diesel, no fuel that's used. And this battery can be charged with solar energy. So those are the alternatives that are used and can be used. The stadiums which we worked on were very old stadiums. They don't, or they cannot, or they don't want to equip themselves with the latest technology because jaise chal raha hai, chalne do kind of a thing, which is fine. Again, nothing against. But the point is that these are technologies, these are new innovations that can come in, specifically targeting the energy part.
So you're saying that a lot of people are resistant to change in that sense, not for any other reason, but because out of habit. How important is it for civic authorities and policy makers to incentivize people to use, let's say, solar energy or the alternative energy sources at large sporting events or anywhere else actually?
So again, I think somewhere it's also an awareness problem and not just about policies and stuff. Like, of course, policies will always help. But if we can work from a level of making them want to do it as well, the adoption is much higher. Right. So the reason I'm saying is that there are composting machines. So these grounds have it. Right. Now, they use the grass that's cut on the field to compost it. But the composting machines are burning that grass. All right? And when you burn that grass, that compost is not good for your plants. Okay. Not many people know about this.
Okay.
Right? But it's faster. You will get the compost, but the plants will die if you put it in the. So what do you do with that compost? Nothing. And nobody really thinks about what happens with it after. So just point being, it's not that they're not composting. It's about not giving them the right equipments. This awareness plus the policy plus the civic sense that can be given to people is all needed together. One or the other will not work. Like, for us, it's very simple to say that I am paying my tax. But our constitution, there is an Article 51 AG which accounts for a citizen's duty towards the environment beyond paying taxes. And this needs to be driven at every level, right? So it's not just to say that, okay, I'm sitting at home and not doing anything about it because government should do it. Or, there are the EPR policies, right, which is producer's responsibility, right? But it's not just to say that policies don't exist. We have single-use plastic ban in Maharashtra. What's happening with it?
If it's an execution problem.
It's an execution problem. It's also a problem of people will not adopt it if they're not aware of it, if it doesn't make a difference to them.
But there should be some punitive action,
Yes, yes. In
right?
fact, like, there was this whole mask thing, right? Like COVID. And people used to take photos of you, like those policing that, they had got these people who would take a photo of you and fine you 200 if your mask is below your nose. So we just said that COVID's over. Don't disband that force because we also do beach cleanup. So we have our own beach cleanup movement in Carter Road, which is continuing even now. We are in our third year. So we just requested BMC, don't disband that force. Punish people for littering. Just the same idea. Just take a photo of them when they are littering and fine them 200 rupees, whatever it is what you charge. And imagine again, you will get money.
So basically, what you're saying is it's everybody's problem. Let's all work at it, empower the citizens as well.
Yes, empower the citizens because when you're thinking of like not every, like again, BMC works very hard, all right? The municipal corporation, not just BMC, every municipal corporation works very hard. Bombay every day gets 10,000 tons of waste. That's the number for everyday waste. How do you expect a group of people to just handle that much waste all alone?
Right.
It has to be both ways. It's not okay to just blame the government. It's not okay for the government to just say that it's not coming from the citizens. And that is where even a sporting event, it will only work if there is awareness because then there is adoption. It will only work if the policy is, equally enforced.
Right.
And if it all comes together, even from the people attending the matches. Because you can place dustbins, but if they're not throwing it in the dustbins, what do you do?
Coldplay actually stopped doing concerts for a short while. They said, till we find more sustainable options, we are going to take a pause because concerts contribute to so much waste.
Yeah, the travel, the footprint of just, think about it. I know that from October to Jan, we have about 3,000 events happening in Bombay alone.
Many of them are concerts.
And many of them, and that's why Maroon 5 is performing on a Tuesday because weekend slots are booked. Like, that's how many concerts we have in this time alone.
Right.
So I'm just the reason I'm saying this, imagine the carbon footprint of just the travel part. Again, you don't have a solution to it. People will travel, right? Like the team will travel. And you cannot say that let's not have concerts, right? Again, it comes to the whole power or whole existence or whole idea of what do you do at that moment. How you can make it as sustainable as possible. How you can offset it. And we use this word of green wishing rather than green washing, where we just say that our green wish for the event is this. Because whenever we do any event, we come up with one green wish, be it for a wedding or be it for a sporting event or be it for any concert. So for the green wish is that for this concert, say the people needs to be aware and involved. And we work on that green wish the most.
It's a lovely thought. It's an absolutely lovely thought. I want to ask you a question that we ask everybody on this podcast, Nupur. If you could change one thing about the way we live today to ensure a better planet tomorrow, what would it be? This is a question we ask everybody on Stars on Sustainability, and I'd like to ask you the same one.
Interesting. I think I will answer this question from what I see right now. Maybe if things were better, I would have given you a different answer. But I think we are used to a life of convenience. We need to live a life of existence. And I think that's what we are fighting for right now. And one thing that we need to change in the way we are living today is to look at things from, if this is needed for my existence, I can do it, right? Not from convenience perspective. So moment convenience comes into picture is when things go wrong. So, and I think it's come to a level where we need to think from that perspective and then only things will change. So yeah, I think that's the only way we can have a better planet tomorrow.
I have to thank you for coming here and also for all the work that you're doing and also for the very, very large challenge that you have taken up. I mean, you have some very big events and it's quite something what you're doing, and I'm glad that you're showing people the alternatives because there is so much to be said about weddings are wasteful, sporting events are wasteful, concerts are wasteful, but there are alternatives and that's what you're showing us.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for that and thank you for coming to talk to us.
Thank you.